You've been there, you've felt the weight of betrayal. You've stood in the shadows of your own brokenness, wondering if you'd ever find your way out. But let me tell you something. There's a force in this world that doesn't forget, doesn't forgive, and it's coming for them. You thought they could escape it. The lies, the manipulations, the ways they tore you down. Did you really believe that they could get away with it? Did you think you could just move on, bury the pain, and walk away from the hurt they caused? You were wrong. They were wrong. No one outruns their fate. Not you, not them. Karma has a way of working itself out, and what they've done to you, it's going to catch up with them. The wrongs they've done, the pain they've caused, it doesn't just disappear. It lingers. It festers. And now it's rising. It's coming for them, and it's coming for you too, but not the way they think. Because you're not the victim anymore. You are the storm. And storms don't ask for permission. They don't beg to be heard. They take what's theirs, and they leave nothing behind but destruction for those who thought they could get away. So listen carefully, because this is your moment. This is the beginning of your return. Karma doesn't forget, it never does. And now it's your turn to show them just how powerful it can be. You've been hurt, you've been betrayed, and you've carried that weight for far too long. I know it, because I can feel it in your bones. The sting of their words, the coldness of their actions, the way they made you believe you weren't enough. You trusted them. You gave them everything you had. And what did they do? They took it. They took your kindness and twisted it into weakness. They stole your peace and left you with nothing but pain. And now you're standing here asking yourself how it all went so wrong. How could they betray you like this? How could they walk away without a single regret, leaving you in the wreckage of what they destroyed? But let me tell you something you need to hear. You're not alone in this. You're not the only one who's felt this darkness. You're not the only one who's been burned by the flames of someone else's cruelty. No, my friend, this world is full of people who thought they could break others, who thought they could get away with taking what wasn't theirs. And yet, here you are, broken, maybe, but not defeated. You felt helpless, angry, lost. I see it. I know it. I know what it's like to feel like you're stuck in that place where nothing makes sense. But listen to me. This is not the end. You may have thought you had no power left. You may have believed the pain would never stop. But that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted you to believe you had nothing, that you were nothing. They wanted you to stay small, to stay silent. They thought you wouldn't fight back. They thought they could break you and walk away without a second glance. But they made a mistake, a huge one. They underestimated the force that you are, the pain you've carried, the rage you've buried. It's about to break free, and when it does, it won't be pretty. You've been pushed to the edge, but listen to me when I say this. It's time to rise. It's time to make them understand what happens when you take away someone's peace. What happens when you think they won't fight back? You've felt the frustration. You've tasted the bitterness of betrayal. But it's time to turn that anger into something more. It's time to make them see that they cannot escape the wrath of what they've done to you. It's time for them to feel the weight of their own karma. You're not a victim. Let that sink in. I know the world wants you to believe you are, that your pain defines you, that the hurt they caused you is all that you are. But no. You are so much more than the sum of their betrayal. You are not the scars they left on your soul, the wounds they carved into your heart. You are the force that stands after everything has fallen apart. You are the power that rises, the fire that doesn't go out. And no one, not them, not anyone, can take that from you. They may have tried to break you, but you are not fragile. You are resilience in its purest form. So don't stand there, holding on to the pain they gave you like it's the only thing that defines your worth. It's time to take control. It's time to reclaim the narrative. Because here's the truth. No one can steal your power without your permission. You are the one who decides what happens next. Not them, not anyone. And if you want to show them just how wrong they were to think they could escape your wrath, you need to recognize something important. You hold the pen. You get to write your own story. Now let's get real about who the true villain is in your life. It's not just the people who wronged you. It's not just the ones who left you in the dark. It's the forces that keep you there. The doubt, the fear, and the weight of injustice that tries to keep you bound to the past. The villain isn't just the ones who hurt you directly. It's also the ones who told you that you didn't matter. The ones who made you question your worth. The ones who stood by and watched you suffer without lifting a finger. It's the doubters, the haters, the ones who took advantage of your kindness and believed they could walk away unscathed. They are the ones who will face the consequences. Because karma doesn't forget. It doesn't care how long it takes. It doesn't care about the lies they told or the way they tried to twist the truth. All it knows is that they will pay. They will feel the weight of their own wrongs, and they will understand, too late, that they could never escape the reckoning. But you can choose to rise above it all. It's time to stop letting them have a hold over you. You have the power now, and the first step to claiming it is to remember, you are not the victim anymore. You are the victor, and it's time for them to feel what happens when you take control. They told you it was your fault, didn't they? They looked you in the eyes, those people who were supposed to care for you, protect you, and they made you believe that the pain you felt, the weight you carried, was something you deserved. It's your fault, they said. You brought this upon yourself, they told you. They twisted the truth, made you doubt your own instincts, your own worth. And for a long time you believed them, didn't you? You carried the blame for things you didn't deserve, held the weight of their accusations on your shoulders like a 1,000-pound anchor sinking you deeper into the abyss. You bent over backwards for them. You gave them your time, your energy, your love, and what did they do with it? They took your kindness and turned it into something ugly. They took your trust and they used it against you. They took your loyalty and twisted it into a weapon. Every moment you spent giving to them, every piece of yourself you sacrificed was never enough. You did everything you could to make them happy, to keep them satisfied, to prove that you were worth something. But every time you gave, they took, and when you needed them, they were nowhere to be found. They thought your kindness was weakness. They saw your empathy, your willingness to help, your need to trust, and they took advantage of it. They convinced themselves that you would never fight back, that you were too soft, too naive, too good to hurt them. But what they didn't realize, what they couldn't see, was that you were not weak. No, you were just waiting. You were patient. And while they thought they could walk all over you, while they thought they could break you and leave you crumpled on the floor, the truth is, you were gathering your strength. You were becoming something they couldn't understand. Their lies, their deceit, their betrayal, it was never going to last. No matter how smooth their words, how carefully they wove their web of lies, it was all built on sand. And eventually sand shifts, it crumbles, and with it, the lies fell apart. They couldn't escape the consequences of what they did. They thought they had you under their thumb, that you would never rise, but they didn't know that you were always going to get back up. And when you did, you would be stronger than ever. They may have thought they were getting away with it. They may have thought they had won, but you know better now. You know that karma doesn't let anything slip through the cracks. It doesn't forget. And their betrayal, it was never going to last. It couldn't. And now the reckoning is coming. And it's coming for them, not you. It's like a knife that dug deeper with every unspoken word. Every silence they left hanging between you was a wound, sharp and unforgiving. You could feel it, couldn't you? The quiet tension in the air. The moments where they said nothing at all, where their eyes spoke volumes of their disdain, their indifference. And that silence was your punishment. It wasn't just their actions that hurt. It was the way they made you feel invisible. It was the way they left you waiting for an apology that never came, for an acknowledgement that never happened. That silence was their way of telling you that you didn't matter, that your pain didn't matter, that you were nothing more than an afterthought in their lives. And each moment, each day, it felt like that knife twisted just a little deeper into your soul. And you bled, didn't you? You bled, and no one was there to offer a bandage, to soothe your wounds. You had to endure the hurt in silence, pretending you were fine, pretending that the weight of the betrayal wasn't suffocating you. But let me tell you something, that pain, that heartache, it's real, it's raw. And I won't ask you to ignore it, to push it aside as if it didn't happen, because it did. The hurt is real, and it's yours to feel. But here's the thing you need to understand. That pain does not define you. It's tempting to let it drown you, isn't it? It's tempting to let it take over, to let the sorrow wash over you like a tidal wave pulling you under. But don't you dare. Don't you dare let them own your sorrow. Don't let them control the narrative of your pain. Because if you do, you give them power over you. You give them control over your every thought, your every emotion, your every move. And that's exactly what they want. They want you to stay broken, to stay small, to stay silent, but not anymore. You are not the sum of their betrayal. You are not the victim of their cruelty. You are not a prisoner to their silence. You are the one who decides when the pain ends. You are the one who decides how the story goes from here. And that's the first step in taking back your power. Refusing to let the pain swallow you whole. Refusing to let them hold your heart hostage any longer. The knife may have cut deep, but you are not defined by the wound. You are defined by the strength it takes to rise from the ashes and show the world that no one gets to steal your peace. I know the pain. I know the depth of the hurt you've carried with you for so long. It's been heavy, hasn't it? The days you spent wondering if it would ever end. The nights you lay awake, replaying the betrayal over and over in your mind, questioning yourself, questioning your worth. You've asked yourself time and time again, why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this? I hear you, and I acknowledge that pain. But let me ask you something. What if that pain doesn't have to be the end of your story? What if, just for a moment, you allowed yourself to believe that you're in control of what happens next? What if the same strength that got you through this far, the strength that has allowed you to survive all this hurt, is the strength that will propel you forward? It's time to stop letting them hold the pen. It's time to stop letting them write your story for you. They've had their chapter. They've written their lies, their betrayal, their silence. But now it's your turn. You are the one who gets to define what happens next. You are the one who decides the ending. The pain is real, the scars are real, but they don't have to be the narrative. You have the power to rewrite the script. You have the power to shift from victim to victor. The wrongs they've done to you, let them be the fuel that ignites your fire. Let them be the reason you rise from the ashes, stronger and more determined than ever before. So, I'm inviting you now, right here, to take control. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. Your story doesn't end with their betrayal. It ends with you standing tall, reclaiming everything they tried to take from you. You have the power to change your narrative, and it starts today. Will you take it? Will you take control of your fate and show them that no one, not even them, can take away your strength, your peace, your power? Because this is your moment. And this is the moment karma shifts. Not just for them, but for you. The real villain in your story wasn't you. No, you were never the problem. You were never the one who betrayed trust, who twisted the truth, or who took advantage of someone's kindness. The real problem was those people who couldn't see your worth. The ones who used you, who saw your heart as a weapon to exploit rather than a gift to cherish. They looked at your vulnerability as an opportunity, not to protect you, not to stand by you, but to tear you down and feed off your strength until there was nothing left but a shell of who you once were. It's not just the ones who wronged you directly. It's the force that kept you small, that made you doubt your power, that told you that you didn't deserve more, that you didn't deserve love, respect, or peace. The villain is that voice inside your head that whispered, "You're not enough." The villain is the insecurity, the self-doubt, the fear that kept you stuck in that endless cycle of trying to please others while losing yourself in the process. The real villain was never the people around you. It was the belief you had for so long that their judgment was your truth. The truth is, they saw your light and were afraid of it. They were afraid of your power, of the way you could rise, of the way you could shine when you embraced who you truly are. So they tried to dim it. They tried to break you down, make you feel like you weren't worth anything, because deep down they knew you were too strong to stay in their shadows forever. But now the tables have turned. They thought they could escape the consequences of their actions, but they were wrong. Karma doesn't forget. It never forgets. It doesn't care about how long it takes, how much they think they've gotten away with. It doesn't care about their excuses or their lies. What they did to you is coming back to them, and it will come back harder than they ever imagined. They thought they were the ones in control, but karma has a way of flipping the script. They thought they could tear you apart and walk away without a second thought, but now they'll see. They'll see what happens when you mess with someone who's done nothing but love, who's done nothing but give, and who's fought to stay strong even when the world tried to break them. They'll see that their betrayal was never going to go unpunished. Karma is coming for them, and it's coming for you too. But this time, you are the force of reckoning. They thought you were weak. They thought they could walk all over you, take advantage of your kindness, your compassion, and your willingness to give. They believed that they could break you down, that they could erase your strength and make you feel small. They saw you as an easy target, someone who would never fight back, someone who would always forgive, always let them in, always give them another chance. And for a while you did. You kept trying to make sense of their actions, kept wondering what you could have done differently, kept giving them the benefit of the doubt, hoping that the next time would be better. But they never changed, did they? They never gave you the respect you deserved. They never saw you as anything more than a tool to use, a person to exploit, a means to an end. They took your love and twisted it, your trust and shattered it. And little by little, they chipped away at your sense of self, convinced you that you weren't enough, that you were broken, that you were less than what you truly are. They thought they could break you. They thought they could rob you of your fire, make you doubt your worth, and take away your power. They didn't realize, though, that their attempts to break you were only forging you into something stronger. Every insult, every betrayal, every tear that fell in the dark, it was all building something inside you. They didn't see it, but you were slowly becoming someone they couldn't destroy. They tried to make you feel like you were nothing, tried to make you feel insignificant. But what they didn't realize is that you were never meant to be the victim. You were never meant to stay down. You were never meant to be the one who accepted their cruelty, their lies, their manipulation. You were meant to rise. The weight of their injustice may have pushed you to the brink, but it didn't break you. It didn't erase your strength. It didn't diminish your worth. No matter how much they tried to suffocate you, no matter how much they tried to drown you in their toxicity, you were always meant to rise above it. They didn't see it, but the truth was right there all along. You are not the one who will be destroyed. You are the one who will destroy the narrative they tried to create. And when you rise, when you stand tall, they will see that no matter how hard they tried to break you, they were never strong enough to take away your power. They don't realize it yet, do they? The people who hurt you, the ones who thought they could just walk away without consequences, they have no idea what's coming for them. They may be going on with their lives, thinking they've gotten away with it, thinking they've left you in the dust, that they've escaped their own wrongdoing, but here's the truth. They're only fooling themselves. The damage they've done is coming back. It's coming for them piece by piece, whether they see it coming or not. Every lie they told, every promise they broke, every cruel word they spoke, it's all building up, accumulating in the dark, ready to crash down on them with an unstoppable force. They don't understand it yet, but karma is like a ticking clock, and their time is running out. They believed that their actions were a mere footnote in the grand scheme of things, that they could destroy you and walk away scot-free. But every wrong they committed against you is like a seed planted in the soil of their future, and eventually those seeds will sprout. What they failed to understand is that the very thing they thought they had over you, the power to hurt, to control, to break you, that's the very thing that's going to unravel them. They may think they're free, they may think they've escaped the consequences, but that's only because they're blind to what's coming. Karma doesn't forget. It's patient, silent, but relentless. And it's never late. The moment they think they've outrun it, it will be waiting for them at the door. And you might have suffered, you might have bled, you might have been brought to your knees, but now, you know that there is more to this story. There is a final act, an act where the scales balance, where the wrongs are righted, where those who tried to tear you apart realize that they never truly had control. You can feel it, can you? The air is thick with the weight of what's about to happen. The reckoning is coming, and when it does, there will be nothing they can do to stop it. All the damage they caused, all the hurt they inflicted, it's about to come full circle, and they will have no choice but to face it. And you won't have to lift a finger. You won't have to get your hands dirty. The universe, fate, karma, whatever you want to call it, it's already on your side. It's already setting the wheels in motion. The price is being paid, and it will be paid in full. But you know something? The moment they left you for dead, the moment they turned their backs on you, that was the moment you became untouchable. You see, what they thought was the end of you, what they thought would be the final blow, it was the beginning of your transformation. They never understood it, did they? They never understood that when they pushed you to your lowest, when they abandoned you in your pain, they gave you the power to rise. For so long you felt lost. For so long you felt broken, as if there was no way out of the darkness. The weight of their betrayal, the crushing weight of your own self-doubt, it all felt unbearable, didn't it? It felt like you were standing on the edge of an abyss with no way to move forward, no way to move backward. But in that moment of despair, something shifted. You began to realize that you weren't defeated. You weren't broken. You were growing. You were shedding the old skin, the version of you that believed their lies, the version of you that allowed their actions to define your worth. And as you stood there, facing the wreckage they left behind, you found something within yourself that no one could ever take away. You found your strength. It wasn't just about surviving anymore. It was about thriving. It was about realizing that you are not the sum of your wounds, your scars, or your past. You are the force that will rise from them. And as that truth settled into your bones, you began to see the world differently. You began to see your own reflection, not as a victim, not as someone broken by the world, but as a warrior, as a force of nature, as someone who is unstoppable. They thought they could erase you. They thought they could shatter your spirit and watch you fade away. But what they didn't realize is that the moment they thought you were down for the count was the moment you started to rebuild yourself into something they could never comprehend. Now, when you look at yourself, you no longer see the person they tried to crush. You see the person who's learning, growing, evolving into the person they never thought you could become. You are stronger now. You are more powerful now than you ever were when they were in your life. And they will never, ever be able to take that away from you. Karma isn't just some distant, abstract concept that applies to others. It's the law of the universe, the ultimate force that restores balance. It's the force that ensures justice is served, no matter how long it takes, no matter how much they think they've escaped it. You've seen it play out in the world and the lives of those around you, and now you're about to witness it in your own life. Karma is not just some passive reaction to the wrongs others commit. It's an active force, an unstoppable tide that eventually sweeps everything in its path. What you give is what you get. And let's be clear about something. What they gave to you, what they did to you, will come back to them in ways they never imagined. But it's not just about what they did to you. Karma is a reflection of who you are and what you have done, too. It's the energy you've put into the world, the love you've given, the compassion you've shown, the strength you've had to muster to keep going when everything seemed lost. And now, it's your turn. It's your turn to claim what's rightfully yours. The peace, the success, the happiness they thought they could steal from you. It's all coming back to you now. They may have hurt you. They may have tried to break you. But what they didn't know is that the universe always has a way of restoring balance. The scales are tipping in your favor now. Every wrong they've done, every injustice they've inflicted, it's all adding up. And soon they'll realize that they can't outrun karma. They can't outrun the consequences of their actions. And you've earned the right to take back what they took from you. You've fought for it. You've bled for it. You've spent long nights wondering if you'd ever see the day where the universe would make things right. Well, that day has come. This is your moment to rise, to claim what you deserve, to take back what was always yours. The law of karma isn't just about retribution. It's about the restoration of what's right. And right now, what's right is that you are about to be rewarded. All the hurt, all the struggle, all the sacrifices you've made, they were not in vain. You are about to see the fruits of your resilience. And karma, in all its power, is the force that will deliver it to you. Stand up, right now. Do you feel it? That power coursing through your veins? That fire burning in your chest? You are stronger than you've ever realized. You have been through hell and back, and yet you're still standing. You've survived the betrayals, the heartaches, the endless storms, and you're still here, more powerful than ever. They thought you were weak. They thought you'd stay down. They thought they could tear you apart and leave you in the dust. But they were wrong. You were never their prey. You were never someone they could control, break, or diminish. You were always their reckoning. You were the storm they never saw coming, the force they never counted on. And now, it's time for them to realize it. It's time for you to show the world what you're made of. This is your moment. The moment you stop letting their actions define you. The moment you stop hiding behind your pain and start stepping into your power. You have been holding back for too long. The world needs to see you rise. The world needs to see you break free from the chains they tried to wrap around you. You've spent too long questioning your worth, doubting your strength, holding back the force within you, but no more. It's time to claim what's yours, to take back everything they tried to take from you, to show them that you are unstoppable. Stand tall. You've already been through the hardest part. You've survived their cruelty, their lies, their betrayal. And now, you are the one who decides your future. You are the one who will write your own story. The time for waiting is over. The time for revenge is now. Not with hatred, not with violence, but with the undeniable power of your transformation. You are the living proof that nothing, no one, can keep you down forever. Stand up. Show them. Show them that you were never their prey. You are always the reckoning. You are the storm that's been brewing, the thunder rumbling in the distance, building with every step you've taken. You've been silent for too long, hiding your power, bottling up your rage, your resilience, your strength. But no more. Now, your voice shakes the earth. Can you feel it? The surge of energy running through you, like the crack of lightning in the dark sky, electrifying every fiber of your being. You are no longer the one who cowers in the shadows, no longer the one who lets others define your worth. You are the storm that's been waiting to strike, the hurricane that's about to change everything in its path. For so long you carried the weight of their betrayal, the weight of your own doubts. You were buried in the ashes of what they did to you, watching from the wreckage, unsure if you'd ever rise again. But now, you've found the fire that was always within you. You realized that the ashes weren't the end of you. They were the fuel that would ignite your power. And now, it's time to rise. Your strength is no longer hidden. It's no longer something you keep tucked away out of fear, out of doubt. Your strength is like a wildfire spreading through every corner of your life, burning away all that no longer serves you. Every scar, every betrayal, every painful memory, it's all been transformed into fuel for your growth. You are no longer a victim of your past. You are the creator of your future. Imagine the image of a mountain, towering above the storm clouds, unshaken by the winds that try to tear it down. That is you now. The winds of doubt, the storms of hardship. They may try to shake you, but they will never break you. You are immovable. You are the mountain, standing tall, unyielding, unbroken. And with every step you take, the world begins to shift. Your power isn't something to be feared by others, it's something to be respected. It's the quiet strength that comes from knowing who you are and what you are capable of. Your power is undeniable, unstoppable, and unbreakable. You've been through the fire, and now you are the flame. You are the storm, the reckoning, the force that the world cannot ignore. It's your time to claim everything that's been taken from you and everything you were always meant to have. The world will feel your rise. You were forged in fire. Every wound, every scar, every tear shed in the darkness. They didn't break you. They made you stronger. What they thought would crumble you, what they believed would be your downfall, turned you into something they can never touch. For so long, you carried the weight of their lies, their betrayal, their cruelty. You let those wounds define you, and in their shadow, you doubted yourself. You thought you weren't enough. You thought you were broken, that your past would haunt you forever. But you were wrong. You are not the same person you were when they first tore into you. You've shed that old skin. You've let go of the insecurity that kept you small, the self-doubt that whispered you weren't worthy. You've burned away the remnants of your past, and in its place you've emerged as something unrecognizable, something untouchable. The old you, the one who carried their pain, the one who believed their lies, is gone. In its place is a new version of you, forged by the very flames that tried to consume you. You are the phoenix, rising from the ashes, stronger and more powerful than you ever thought possible. Every time they tried to break you, every time they pushed you to your limit, you only grew more resilient. You were tested and found unbreakable. Their words, their actions, they no longer have the power to define you. You are the one who defines yourself now. Your insecurities are nothing but distant echoes, fading into the background as you step into the light of your true power. You are no longer afraid. You no longer carry the weight of self-doubt. You are free. Free to be the person you were always meant to be. Free to rise above the lies. Free to claim the future that was always yours. What they didn't understand is that you were never weak. You were always strong, always capable of greatness. You just needed to be pushed to the edge, to be tested by fire, to shed the parts of you that were holding you back. And now, nothing can stop you. Your transformation is complete. The power you once sought outside of yourself is now flowing from within you, unstoppable, unshakable. You are a force they can never touch, never defeat, never control. You are a force of nature, a force of justice, a force that will leave an indelible mark on the world. You didn't need to chase after them. You didn't need to ruin their lives the way they tried to ruin yours. Karma will do that for you. You see, you don't have to lift a finger to make them feel the weight of their actions. All you have to do is stand back, watch, and let the universe take its course. Their time has come. They thought they could walk away from the pain they caused, thinking they could escape the destruction they left behind. But here's the truth. They never left your shadow. No matter how far they ran, no matter how much time passed, they were always there, hiding from their consequences. Karma doesn't forget. They can't hide forever. The lies, the deceit, the betrayal, it all catches up to them one way or another. And now, as their world starts to crumble around them, they'll realize that they are not in control anymore. You never had to go after them. You were never the one who needed to seek revenge. The universe is handling it. While they thought they were free, living without the burden of the damage they caused, you were quietly watching. Now you're seeing it unfold, piece by piece, as everything they built starts to crumble under the weight of their own action. The lives they ruined, the people they betrayed. Karma doesn't forget. They thought they were the victors. They thought they had won when they walked away from you, when they moved on without a care in the world. But they didn't realize that they were walking straight into the very thing they tried to escape, their own reckoning. And now the tables have turned. They are the ones left with nothing. They are the ones left broken, exposed, and vulnerable. While you've been rebuilding, while you've been growing stronger, they've been living with the quiet weight of their wrongs, never realizing that their downfall was inevitable. The victims have become the victors. You were the one who emerged from the wreckage. You were the one who refused to be crushed under the weight of their betrayal. And as they fall, as karma takes its course, you will rise. You were always meant to be the one to win, to show them that no one escapes the consequences of their actions, not even them. The walls they built around themselves are crumbling brick by brick, and they can't stop it. No matter how hard they try, no matter how much they scream and plead, the foundation they constructed from lies, manipulation, and deceit is beginning to give way. The pressure is building. The walls that once kept them safe from the truth, the walls that protected them from the reality of their actions, are now the very things that are suffocating them. They thought they were untouchable. They thought they had outsmarted the universe, escaping the consequences of their cruelty and injustice, but they were wrong. The universe has a way of righting the wrongs, of forcing everyone to face the price of their actions. And now, they are about to pay that price. One by one, the walls begin to fall. The lies they've told are unraveling, their defenses weakening with every passing moment. The truth is flooding in, and it's something they can no longer deny. The very things they thought they could hide, the truths they thought they could bury, are now emerging like thunderclouds on the horizon. The storm is here, and they have nowhere to run. Their downfall isn't a sudden crash, but a slow, agonizing realization that everything they built, everything they believed was solid, was only a house of cards waiting to collapse. Each falsehood they told, each person they betrayed, each lie they wove into their web, it's all catching up with them, piece by piece, until they can no longer escape the truth. Watch them now, as they frantically scramble, trying to piece together the wreckage of their lives, trying to rebuild the walls they thought were impenetrable, but it's too late. The damage is done, and no amount of patchwork can save them now. They are standing in the ruins of everything they once held dear, surrounded by the crumbling evidence of their own wrongdoings. They thought they could outrun it, they thought they could get away with it, but they never realized that karma has its own timeline. It moves in ways they could never predict, and now they are seeing the full weight of what they've done to others and to themselves. The reckoning is here. Feel the shift in the air as their facade begins to slip away. Their pride is faltering. Their arrogance, once so loud and unshakable, is now nothing more than a hollow echo. They are facing the truth they tried to bury, and it is far too powerful for them to ignore. The universe doesn't need your hand to deliver justice. It was always coming for them. The wreckage of their lives is proof of their own choices. The price they've paid for their actions is steep, and now they are paying in full. And you stand tall, unbroken, knowing that this moment was always destined to unfold. You are the witness, not the victim. The villain, the oppressor, the one who thought they could break you is now the one who is broken. Their downfall is not something to celebrate, but something to acknowledge. Karma has a way of turning the tables, of showing us that no one can escape their actions. And now they are learning that lesson the hardest way possible. As their walls crumble, as their world falls apart, know this. This is not the end of their story. It is simply the beginning of their reckoning. The last chapter they'll write in this life, and the start of the long road ahead where they must face the consequences of everything they've done. And you stand on the other side, stronger than ever, watching the universe restore balance. You were always meant to be here. This is the moment where everything changes. The storm that raged through your life, those moments of betrayal, those nights filled with doubt and despair, it's over. The clouds are clearing, the winds have calmed, and now you stand in the light of your own power, seeing everything for what it truly is. You survived the storm. Not only did you survive it, but you have emerged from it stronger, more powerful, and more alive than you ever knew was possible. What they thought would break you has only made you unbreakable. What they believed would be your undoing has become the catalyst for your rise. You are no longer the person they tried to make you. You are no longer the victim of their lies, the target of their cruelty, the puppet they thought they controlled. You are more. You are stronger, wiser, and more confident than you ever believed you could be. It's time to stand tall and feel the power that flows through you, the power that they never saw coming, the power that they tried so hard to diminish, to crush under their heel. This time it's not their power that looms over you, it's yours. Feel the weight of that truth. Feel the ground beneath you solidify, as if the earth itself is acknowledging your strength. The forces that once sought to destroy you, they have no hold on you anymore. They are nothing but a distant memory, fading as you step into the future that you've claimed as your own. Look at yourself now. Look at how far you've come. The scars that once weighed you down are now your badge of honor. They are the proof of your resilience. The darkness you survived is now the fire that fuels your rise. You've become the embodiment of strength, resilience, and power. The winds have stopped, the storm has passed, and you are standing in the aftermath. Not as someone who was broken, but as someone who was reborn. This is the moment where you realize you are the one who controls your destiny now. You are the one who stands in the face of the future, knowing that nothing, no force, no betrayal, no injustice can ever take away the power you hold within. The power is yours. You were always meant to be here. You were always meant to rise, to stand tall, to claim what was always rightfully yours. And now you have. The world may have tried to break you, but it has only made you stronger. It's your time now, and nothing can take that away. Take your strength, take your revenge, not by their rules, but by your own. You've learned the hard way that life isn't about playing by the rules others set for you. It's not about following the script they wrote for you. It's about rewriting your own story. It's about living for yourself, standing tall in your truth, and claiming the power that's always been yours. This is your moment. The storm is over. You've weathered it, and now you stand stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you've ever been. This isn't just survival, it's transformation. You are no longer the person they tried to make you. You are more. You are more than the victim. You are more than the past they tried to trap you in. You are the one who defines who you are and who you will become. You are in control. Now live for yourself, not for their approval, not for their judgment. Live for the person you've become, for the power you've unlocked. You don't need their validation anymore. You've built yourself up from the ashes of your own pain, and now it's time to shine. Karma is always on your side. It's never been about revenge or holding on to anger. It's about justice, it's about balance. And now the universe is delivering that balance to you. What's coming next is yours to claim. Don't let anyone tell you that you're anything less than what you've become. You are a force, unbreakable and unstoppable. And now, the world is yours for the taking. So go ahead, take it. Take the life you deserve. Take the success, the peace, the power. You've earned it, and no one can ever take that from you again. Reflect on the journey. Look back at where you began. Do you remember the pain? The betrayal, the heartbreak, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on? Those were the moments when they thought they could break you. They thought they could crush your spirit, silence your voice and erase your strength. But what they didn't realize was that each time they pushed you down, you rose higher. Each wound, each insult, each betrayal, it all served a single purpose: to forge you into the unbreakable force you are now. The pain wasn't the end of your story, it was the beginning of something far greater. With every tear you shed, with every moment of despair you faced, you grew stronger. You learned to let go of what didn't serve you, to shed the old versions of yourself that no longer fit the path you were destined to walk. You transformed. The betrayal was never the final chapter. It was the spark that ignited the fire within you, the catalyst that set your soul alight. They thought you'd stay broken, that you'd stay crushed under the weight of their cruelty. But they couldn't have been more wrong. What they didn't know is that you were always the one who had the power to heal. You were always the one who could stand tall in the face of adversity, who could rise from the ashes and become something even greater than you ever imagined. And then, as you stood strong, watching them walk away thinking they had won, karma began to unfold. It wasn't something you needed to chase. You didn't have to bring them to their knees. The universe was already doing that for you. Their actions were always going to come back to them. They couldn't outrun the consequences. Karma doesn't forget. And now they are paying the price, while you stand in your newfound strength, watching it all unfold. You've survived the storm, and now you've become the storm. They thought they could break you, but all they did was make you unbreakable. Final motivational statement. Now, as you look back at everything you've overcome, remember this. This is your life. This isn't a story about someone else. This is your journey, your struggle, your victory. You are the storm. You are the one who shapes your destiny, who carves your path, and who decides what happens next. The darkness they tried to cast on you was never stronger than the light within you. You are the one who chooses to rise. Stand tall, stand proud. You have earned every bit of strength, every ounce of wisdom, and every moment of peace you now hold. You have fought your battles and you have emerged victorious. Karma has been on your side and it always will be. So now take what's yours. Live for yourself. Keep moving forward with the confidence that you are unstoppable, that nothing can break you, and that the universe is forever aligning in your favor. You've survived the worst. You've been forged in fire. Now, go and show the world who you are. The storm is here, and it is you.